Hey, welcome back to Ready State. It is part 3 of talking about lumbopelvic control. Snooze. What I'm saying is, hey, we want to continue this exploration about some of the movement choices that we have that somehow sometimes don't scale up to better function. In this situation, it's about the anterior pelvic tilt and why we try to have our athletes not default there because it's an easy position, but being able to control and modulate what's going on with the pelvis so that we protect a potential loss of force production. And every once in a while, man, my athletes get extension sensitive, and I'm trying to limit that. I'm trying to have them take fewer licks of the lollipop to get to the chewy extension ache center, and you know who you are out there. So one of the things that we look at, and one of the things I love to use with my young athletes, is a ball pickup. So just shouldering a ball. It gives us a chance to get organized, practice dropping down, and do a bottom-up squat. So instead of just squatting from the top down, right, suddenly they have to get organized at the bottom, pick that ball up, and put it on their shoulder. And I do this a lot with our young kids as a first drill for teaching deadlifting or Olympic lifting or jumping mechanics or athletic position, because this translates so well into so many of the sports that we're working on. And it allows them to feel this position. But also, at a very early age, I have my youth athletes figure out how fast they can get their butt on. So instead of picking that ball up, even if they're a little bit flexed, it's okay, and they get to the top, it's not about getting to the top, it's about how fast they can get the butt on to control the potential squirreliness and what we call gimbaling of the pelvis. Like a rocket taking off where the bottom of the rocket's gimbaling around. I want to mitigate, attenuate the gimbaling of your pelvis. And one of the ways I can do that is as I'm moving towards extension to throw this on my back, I want to teach my athletes to squeeze their butt. So one of our cues is how fast can you get your butt on? If this thing's heavy, I want to be able to press through, even if I have to power it up and I'm rolling it up, then throwing it. That hip extension is coming at the idea of being able to squeeze the butt or having some butt squeeze. And again, it doesn't have to be 100% butt squeeze, it has to be some butt squeeze. But suddenly, my athletes begin to link some of these extension driving loads into also recruiting the glute to keep that pelvis from squirting out underneath them, which potentially is the mechanism for a lot of the spondy that we see in our young athletes who are really comfortable turning their pelvis over and running into other people or jumping and landing or throwing the javelin, personal family experience included. So the idea here is, hey, where do we teach this pelvic control? Well, it turns out really slow movements aren't enough for the brain to really care about the motor learning. But under a little bit of load, under a little bit of contest, under a little bit of significant speed, the brain appreciates this as a coordination skill as much as it is a strength skill. And what we are really doing is coordinating the control of the lower body and having access to our physiology so that we have better outcomes. And those better outcomes are expressed in biomotor output. More reps, more poundage, more wattage, more transfer of those coordination activities to things we care about. So another way of looking at this, and if you're doing heavy ball tosses and you know who you are, make sure that that butt is on so that you're not just hanging on the joints. Because hanging on the meat, that's not what humans do.